one. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson along with Ty Hayes from the Around the Table Sports. We're talking about a new signee that is Noah Carter, class of 2024. He will be a part of this incredible roster and really the first new signee under Coach Kalen DeBoer. Here with Ty, we're going to talk about his highlight film. From what I understand, Alabama wants him to play at 255 pounds. This guy is an extreme talent on really both sides of the ball. We're going to show his highlight tape. Ty, when we talk about him, where do we start when talking about Noah Carter?
I don't know where to start. This is one of the rare times where you see a guy and you start watching their film and you almost have to stop it halfway through and start sending it around to your buddies. Kyle, the reason why I tell you that is this is a guy sitting 6'4", 220 pounds. You see the measurables right there. On three has him as the number 57 player in the nation, 247 at 84. And I think he's underrated at both of those places. And the reason why, very simple. 6'4", 220 pounds, is returning kicks, is splitting out wide, playing outside wide receiver, tight end. He's playing safety. He's playing edge. There's very little he can't do. It just reminds me of Friday Night Lights whenever Boobie Miles' dad watches him throw the touchdown and says, and he can throw the ball. Yeah. That's what Noah Carter reminds me of. You don't make players like this often. There he is running down the field, one-handed Moss. This kid is different, Alabama Nation. He is going to be an incredibly exciting player to watch. He has all the ability to be able to add on more weight onto his frame and not diminish the athletic ability that you see before you. This is a phenomenal addition to Alabama's 2024 recruiting class.
Here talking about one of Alabama's newest signees, which is Noah Carter, really the first signee under Coach Kalen DeBoer. And you talk about momentum for Coach Kalen DeBoer and what they've been able to do as a staff early on since taking over at Alabama. I think that when you talk to people that are close to the program, they want Noah Carter to play at 255 pounds. And as you see, he's making plays all over the field, inside at wide receiver, just a very versatile player on both sides of the ball. But let's get it straight. He is going to play on the defensive side, and he is going to be a edge rusher at the University of Alabama. Overall, I like everything about his tape. And if these are the guys that Coach Kalen DeBoer and his staff are going to go after in terms of the defensive side of the ball, get excited. I mean, these guys, because you want, like when you look to your edge rushers, and I have a graphic coming up talking about Alabama's linebackers and the edge rushers, you have a guy like Keon Keeley, you have Jan Zapier, you have Quay Russo. I think that Noah Carter fits in great with that. You have Jayshon Ross as well. So overall, a tremendous talent. Class of 2024 is closing out to be fantastic. We're waiting on two more signees on the day from this class of 2024. But Noah Carter, you got to be really excited about him coming on board. Really exciting. And I like the fact that you're dipping in and you have West Coast ties, right? I mean, Arizona on the West, bringing him in. I mean, look at these highlights. Here he is returning punts, long stride, gets up the field. I mean, and a great young man. We had an opportunity to talk to him with Coach Smook and Coach Sean. We're talking with him. Really like everything that he brings to the table. What else are we getting out of a player like Noah Carter, Ty?
So when I talk about an edge prospect, there's a few things that I want to see. Now, he's already shown some of them. There was a clip early on in this whenever he was rushing the quarterback and he went to the inside. He got real low, he got real skinny, and just beat the guy right off the rip. That's something you love to see. The other two things that really stood out to me, tenacity and motor. He has got a relentless motor with relentless pursuit. And when you talk about someone with his athletic ability, that's an incredibly important characteristic, especially when you're talking about someone that's going to play in the trenches in the SEC, Kyle. You got to have that dog in you. But the other thing, there's a clip, probably my favorite clip from his highlight reel, is a play that looks to be a screen pass, right? The running back is floating out. Noah Carter starts off by doing his thing normally, identifies where the running back is, and starts floating out and actually picks the pass off. His football IQ is already on full display for everybody to see. There's no shortage of things to love about this kid. He is a very exciting addition to the class of 2024, no doubt about it.
when you look to the linebackers for Alabama, and we'll continue to update these as we go forward, we are close to having all of these complete, but you see the seniors, and we listed the guys who are edge and linebackers, interior linebackers. So you have Justin Jefferson, you have Q Robinson, but just looking at the edges coming back, I think sometimes people forget about Keanu Cook coming up and how talented he is, right? Keanu kind of being the vets of that particular group. And then you also have, guys who didn't get an opportunity last year, but are ultra talented. Keon Keeley, Yonze, Quay Russo. And then you look to the guys who are just added to this class of 2024, Sterling Dixon. And I'm just talking about the edge guys, Jayshon Ross and Noah Carter. These guys are, just filling right in. I really like this overall group of linebackers. Ty, from an athletic standpoint, in the 4.25, these are the guys who can make impacts, right? Look at Q Rob is certainly underrated. Keanu, same thing with Keanu. Talk about kind of these edge rushers, because when you look to this from the outside in, it's easy to get excited about the edge rushers.
No doubt. Kyle, you and I had this conversation, oh gosh, I think going back to November. And I believe it was over on Bleacher Report, where we were talking about how this might be the most loaded room in all of college football. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what it included: Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell. There was a time where the number 1 and number 2 and number 3 edges in multiple classes were all coming to Alabama. Keon Keeley, for instance, he was the number 2 player last year. He was the number 1 edge in the nation. Yonze Pierre, a 5-star. Quay Russo, a 5-star. There's so much talent here. And the thing I love, Kyle, is you do have some stylistic differences between them, allowing you to maximize what you want to do along your 4.25. I think that Alabama has the personnel to be able to pretty seamlessly go from what they were running to what Womack is going to be running. But once again, we've talked about this before. That's not something that's totally out of the blue for what the has seen in the past. But this 4.25, especially with this outside linebacker group, there's no shortage of weapons. I still think there's a principled argument to make that it might be the most loaded room in all of college football.
Absolutely. I really like it. Compounded on the fact that you have Jahad Campbell and Deontay Lawson returning in the inside. That group is really easy to get excited about. So again, Noah Carter has officially signed with the Alabama Crimson Tide, the first signee under new head football coach Kalen DeBoer. They are off to a really hot start. We are waiting today for Ryan Williams and Quentin Reese to jump on board. We'll bring you that coverage right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up, run them up right here on Bama Football on YouTube, and definitely go follow our boy Ty Hayes at Around the Table Sports. Does a really great job. Any closing remarks, Noah, or are we good right here, Ty, on an incredible signing for 2024?
I think we'll call it here, because I think the problem is, Kyle, is if you ask me to keep talking about his game and what he can add in, this will be a 2-hour video. You know how high I am on this kid. I think to save everybody from me, we'll call it here for now.
All right. We will catch you soon in the next video. And again, run the thumbs up. Noah Carter is in. All right. You guys just saw a live cut of our video. Smook, can we get you on deck? This is